بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحابه الغر الميامين الحمد لله الذي جعلنا من المتمسكين بولاية سيدي ومولاي علي بن أبي طالب اللهم صل على محمد وعجل فرجهم الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله Amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum and welcome to Future Stars on Hidayat TV. I'm your host Shah, and today, and just for now, last week we did about Bibi Fatima, salamu alayhi, and that was part 1, and we're going to continue with that topic, not today but in a few weeks, coming close to her shahadat. We're going to talk a little, we're going to continue with that topic. But for this week's topic, we are going to talk about taqleed. And it's in a really simple form, so I hope you hope all the kids at home can understand, because as they come off when they come of baligh and become wajib, they would need to know about these things that we're going to talk about today. So before we continue, I'd like to just introduce our guests.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Misbah.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Bawsir.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Hussain.
And thank you for coming and joining us today as regular. So how are you guys doing today?
Very well.
Alright, so like we do in every show, someone's going to read the surah and someone's going to read the translation. Misbah, you're going to read the surah. So can we start with the last salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لإلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف صدق الله العلي العظيم.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. For the taming of Quraysh, for their taming because the caravan is set forth in winter and summer, so let them worship the Lord of this house, who has fed them against hunger and have made them safe from fear. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajhum. And remember, whenever you are reading surah, make sure you read the translation as well, so you know the history behind it and also how you can implement it into your life. So what are we talking about today?
Taqleed.
Taqleed. So taqleed is a very important part that some people, that all of us need to know when we become baligh and when we have to do salah, and when we become wajib to do salah, we need to know about these things, and this becomes wajib on us as well. Yeah. So what? So taqleed. What? We'll get into that, but it's to do with marajas, isn't it? The marjas. Can you name any marja? Do you know any? There's.
Do you mean mujtahids?
Yeah, mujtahids. Yeah. So do you know any?
Sistani.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sistani's Saab. Yeah, he's one.
Bashawi Hussain Najafi.
Yeah. So I'm just there's one famous one of the Iranian one is Khamenei. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, Ayatollah Khamenei, and the other one of Iraq. So I've just got to mention these two famous names, like Hussein said, Sistani. Yeah. So these are just two of the one of the famous marjas that are with us today. So we're going to be talking a little bit to do with them and some things as well. So as you know, why do we respect people like those, like Sistani and Khamenei?
Because of their knowledge.
Yeah, because of their knowledge. Yeah. And in Islam, one of the things that we need to do as Muslims is what?
Follow our mujtahid.
Not exactly. To do with knowledge. What do you have to do? As a Muslim,
we need to
know knowledge about your own religion.
We need to gain knowledge. That's really, really important. We need to gain knowledge, whether you're boy, girl, yeah, any color of whatever race you are. If you are Muslim, you need to go and get knowledge. Yeah? One of the hadiths of the Prophet was go gain knowledge if you have to go to the all the way to China. I think I can't remember the hadith very well, but it's something to do. Go gain knowledge if you even if you have to go to China. Yeah. So what it means is that we need to go to big lengths to gain knowledge. Yeah. Yeah. So these marjas have gone through so many years, and they've from birth, and they've been getting this important knowledge, yeah, that of our religion. Yeah, so this is why we respect people, and these are why scholars in our communities, they're considered like the leaders of the communities, and they're very respected. And whenever a scholar or a person of really big knowledge comes into the room, people stand up and give a place to them. Why? Because it's really important. That's a really important thing to do for a Muslim to go out and gain knowledge, and for a man or woman or to have that kind of knowledge. It's really like a kind of pleasure kind of thing, and they've earned that, and we should respect them for that, shouldn't we? Yeah. So when we go on to taqleed, yeah. Hussein is going to start us off talking about that. So can we start Hussein off with the last salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Taqleed is to obey the Islamic laws according to the rulings of the mujtahid. For everything that we do in our lives, we need advice of the experts in that field. Similarly, in the matter of Islamic laws, we must obey the ruling of the experts of that law. These experts are called mujtahids, and the act of obeying these rules is called taqleed. A murja is often more knowledgeable than various other mujtahids, and usually has a book on Islamic fiqh imprint, such as the book Islamic Laws by Ayatollah Bashri Hussain Najafi and Ayatollah Sistani. The one who follows the order of the mujtahid is called muqallid. Most of us are muqallids. Upon becoming baligh, you must make a niyyah intention that you will act or follow your mujtahid in accordance with the rules that they have set out whenever the need arises. Every baligh, male and female, has to follow wajib, these rules, fatwa, regarding Furuddin. If you remember, Furuddin are those rituals we have to act upon, and to learn how to act on these rituals, we must adapt any one of the following: 1. Become a mujtahid. 2. Follow a mujtahid. 3. Perform the jatihad. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajum. Thank you, Hussein. So Hussein talked a little bit about some important points about when you become baligh. Yeah, that you would have to become wajib upon you to make a niyyah to follow a mujtahid to get your what you are supposed to do from them. Yeah, and Hussein mentioned another important thing is that fatwas that they would give are on your the fatwas that they would give, and the things that they would say, what would they be applied upon? Because you've got the roots of the what we're saying? Furuddin, yeah. Not the Usul-e-Din, we're gonna get onto that, but it's gonna on your Furuddin, and we'll get to that. So when people are becoming baligh and they need to make taqleed, some people, some of the like when they're becoming baligh might ask why to do taqleed, and why would we have to do taqleed, and people sometimes even advise that question that the marjas, yeah, none of them are living in France, none of them are living in the USA, yeah, where some Muslims are, and none of them is living in London, none of them is living in Birmingham where we are right now. Yeah, and they wouldn't know the situations that we are actually in? And these are one of the multiple the many questions which arise from people who has to start doing taqleed. Yeah. Yeah. And there was even I think there's some things were happening in Pakistan as well a couple of years ago, where they would go around, some people, and they were Shia, yeah, handing out like kind of pamphlets and saying we're not supposed to do taqleed, yeah. And one on that like leaflet kind of thing, there was hadith from Imam Jafar as-Sadiq, and he is the what Imam? Sixth Imam, yeah. And this is how it goes. He says, beware of taqleed. This is Imam Jafar as-Sadiq saying this, yeah, and this is authentic one as well, yeah. So he definitely did say this. He said, beware of taqleed. Those who adorn themselves in it shall be destroyed. So this is Imam Jafar as-Sadiq saying this. And so now people are who's baligh and they have to do taqleed, they're saying, why are we going to do taqleed? So Hussein, who is your like a marja? Who do you follow?
Sistani.
Yeah, Ayatollah Sistani. So he follows Ayatollah Sistani. Yeah, and say for you didn't know any of the context of this hadith, and someone gives you a leaflet, yeah, and saying Imam Jafar as-Sadiq said this, beware of taqleed, and you've done taqleed, yeah, what would you think? How would you think to that? Because he's giving you a hadith that says Imam Jafar as-Sadiq said, and he did say this, beware of taqleed, those who adorn themselves in it shall be destroyed. So he would be thinking, oh, why am I doing taqleed? Why are they making us do taqleed, won't you? Yeah. So we need to know a little bit more about this, and we need to go into the history of taqleed as well. And do any of you know the difference between marja and mujtahid?
Marja has more knowledge.
Not exactly.
Like they've been studying.
What if I said all marjas are mujtahids, but not all mujtahids are marjas?
Oh, they're not.
They're like a higher level.
No,
like
not exactly.
No, they're not like
expert in a specific field.
When so a mujtahid is when they've gained so much knowledge when they don't need to give taqleed anymore. So they've done so much stuff. They've spent their life analyzing the Quran, hadith, and all of these things. Yeah, that they don't need to give taqleed anymore because they've got that much knowledge. Yeah, and then a marja is, so when you're a mujtahid, you can give your risala, yeah, and you can write a book of the kind of fatwa that you would write down, and kind of the problems that are in nowadays that you can talk about, yeah, and talk about how could a person deal with these situations, yeah. And so if you're on a plane from Birmingham to Pakistan, yeah, and you don't know the Qibla direction, what you're supposed to do, yeah, and some of these situations like that. So a marja is someone who publishes a book, yeah, and that's all their fatwas and stuff like that inside. And a mujtahid is someone that's gained that much knowledge. So now do you understand that all marjas are mujtahids, but not all mujtahids are marjas, yeah. Okay, so when you do taqleed, okay, I'll go on to misbah next actually. So can we start misbah with a loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajal farajah.
Some qualities that mujtahid must have are: number 1, baligh; number 2, aqil, insane; number 3, ithna ashari; number 4, adil, just; number 5, alive when you begin his taqleed; number 6, alam, most knowledgeable; number 7, male; number 8, legitimate of birth. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So Faqih Bisway, she gave some of the conditions of being a mujtahid, like how he should be sane, so he's got in the right state of mind, and how he should be knowledgeable and things like that. So she mentioned that. So getting back, so like Hussein mentioned at the start, can you do so think about what Hussein mentioned at the start, yeah? So can you do taqleed in Fru'adin? No, Suladin. Could you do, because what is Suladin?
The roots of the religion.
The roots of the religion. And they're kind of your beliefs, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what is the Suladin?
Tawheed.
Tawheed,
Adal,
Dal, Nubuwat, Imamat, Qiyamat. Yes. Tawheed, Suladin is 5, isn't it? Yeah. Tawheed, Dal, Nubuwat, Imamat, Qiyamat. And these are like the main beliefs. So Tawheed, Adal, Nubuwat is to be a Tawheed, Adal, Nubuwat and Qiyamat, that is to be a Muslim, and to be a Shia is Tawheed, Adal, Nubuwat and then Imamat and Qiyamat. Yeah. So if we miss out Imamat, that is for any person to be a Muslim, but to be a Shia Muslim, you would have to include Imama as well. Yeah. So you can't do taqleed in Usul-e-Din, yeah, according to the early scholars, yeah. So taqleed in Usul-e-Din. So many people, if you ask why are they Muslim, yeah, many will say, oh, my family, wouldn't they, my parents, yeah. So many people need to know, yeah, that we need to have this established kind of thing that why are we Muslim, yeah, and we can't just base it on because our mom and dad were Muslim. We need to have this rationality on actually why we're Muslim, proof, so a reason why we're actually Muslim, yeah. And this roots of the religion is your core beliefs as a Muslim, isn't it? Yeah. And you can't do taqleed on that. Yeah, you can't follow a marja on that. Yeah, but what is taqleed done on is done on what? Fru'adin. Yeah, it's done on Fru'adin. Yeah. So it was the belief of Sheikh al-Mufid and Kulaini, and they said you on Usul-e-Din you can't do taqleed on that. It's not allowed to do taqleed on that. But on Fru'adin you do taqleed on that. Yeah. So now we get to the point that why. So now we know why we do taqleed. Yeah. So it's not on Usul-e-Din, it's on Fru'adin, and to get that knowledge, because we're getting it from the people of knowledge, aren't we? Yeah. So now we know why we actually do taqleed. Yeah. And to prove taqleed, we might have to do another show on that as well. Yeah. But anyway, just so now we know that to do taqleed, yeah, why we actually do it, yeah. But why does Imam Jafar Sadiq say beware of taqleed? And we're gonna go into that. But before we do that, Mohsin, you've got the next thing. So can we start Mohsin off with the last salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Sources used by mustahids to give fatwa are 1. Quran, 2. Sunnah, 3. Ijma, 4. Aqil. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil fajr. Thank you, Mohsin. And Mohsin was giving on what the mujtahid have to do to kind of study to actually become a mujtahid. Yeah. So thank you, Mohsin. So why does Imam Jafar Sadiq say beware of taqleed? Yeah. So people have been doing taqleed. Some of the people maybe watching it have just started to do taqleed, or some people who might be even watching it who've done taqleed all them live, and now they just realize Imam Jafar Sadiq said beware of taqleed. Yeah. Which taqleed is Imam Jafar Sadiq talking about? Do you have any ideas? So which kind of taqleed? Do any of you know?
The one that misses out the imamate. So
you're kind of there. So it's to do with the imams. Yeah. When an imam is around, yeah. Can you do taqleed to anyone else?
No.
No.
No, because the imams are what? Masoom, aren't they? Yeah. Because if you think back to Hadith Thaqalain, 2 things that the Holy Prophet has left behind, what did he leave behind?
The Quran and the Ahlul Bayt.
Yeah, Quran and Ahlul Bayt. Yeah, not Quran and Sunnah. Actually, Ahlul Bayt is with the Sunnah, isn't it though? Yeah, and every Friday night, after every Friday prayer, if you go to maybe some of our brothers in faith to their mosques, yeah, and what they would say, Quran and Sunnah, Quran and Sunnah, Quran and Sunnah, Quran and Sunnah, yeah, when it's actually what? Quran and
Ahlul Bayt.
Ahlul Bayt, and we could get into this when we maybe talk about Qadil and stuff like that, yeah. So, Quran, what is that? That is
The Holy Book.
it's masoom, isn't it, as well? Yeah, it's pure, no impurities in the Quran, yeah. And because Prophet left 2 things behind, and he said Quran and Ahlul Bayt. So Quran is masoom, so you could use that as well, just as one of the proofs, because there's many other proofs, but to prove Ahlul Bayt is pure as well, is masoom as well. So he's left these 2 masoom, and when some masoom is there, how can you take off someone who has committed a sin before? Yeah, how can you do that? Yeah. So when someone when there's Imam around, and then so Imam Jafar Sadiq has said this, but in my opinion, nah, I don't think that I believe in this. Yeah. So that what was Imam Jafar Sadiq talking about? Yeah. So you can't do taqleed in when there's an Imam around. Yeah. Yeah. So not about the mujtahid that we're talking about today. Yeah. And actually what this when he said beware of taqleed, actually was referring to when because there was also in Imam Jafar Sadiq's time, there were some of the imams of some of the our brothers in faith have, yeah. One of these were Imam Abu Hanifa, yeah. So I was talking about some of these imams, about they were getting the taqleed of them, wasn't they? Yeah, and there's a masoom there, yeah. So this is what this is why Imam Jafar Sadiq is saying beware of taqleed. I'm going to go more into this after Misbah. So can we start Misbah for the last salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajah.
Ways of identifying the mujtahid. Number 1, by a person's own personal knowledge, if he himself is a religious scholar. Number 2, by the testimony of 2 just Islamic scholars. Number 3, by a degree of popularity which leaves no doubt as to a person's being a mujtahid. Number 4, Ahl al-Khibra. All obligatory actions become wajib upon girls and boys once they become baligh. The first thing to do is the niyyah, whose maqalid you have become. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajah. Thank you, Misbah. Yeah, giving some important details there as well. Yeah. So now we know what this kind of, when Imam says beware of taqleed, what he was referring to. So what was he referring to?
He was referring
to when there's a Imam around, and people are getting taqleed of someone who is not a masoom and who is not actually the Imam of the time. Yeah. And so you can't get a taqleed of anyone, yeah, when the Imam is around. Yeah, so you can't. But if the Imam says you can get taqleed of the person, yeah, if the Imam has said so, then you can. But if he can't, then you can't get taqleed of that person. Yeah. So like and also of rulings as well. Yeah. So it's fully established rulings. Yeah. Of a masoom that has, so someone like the Prophet, fully established rulings that he has set. Yeah. You can't do like a kind of taqleed type thing and then change it up. Yeah. So what I'm referring to is like when Salat al-Tarawih, do any of you know that salah is that some of our brothers that would do, yeah? And when the second caliph said it was a bid'ah hasana, a good bid'ah, yeah? And actually saying about that that's kind of what it's talking about as well. You could say in that sense as well, yeah? And also taking hayya ala khairil amal out of azan, yeah, as well, yeah. That's also another thing that you could refer it to, yeah. Now on to the example of what I actually referred to that hadith, yeah, of what caused the Imam to say it, yeah. So with Abu Hanifa, so this people are taking taqleed of him, and Imam actually one time went to ask Abu Hanifa, yeah, which is bigger, which is a bigger of a sin, yeah, murder or adultery, yeah. He said murder, because what does the Quran say about murder? Do any of you know?
That
The amount of witnesses needed.
No. What does the Quran say about murder? That if you
murder someone,
it's like
murdering the whole of
yeah.
mankind.
So if you would murder, if you would kill someone, it's like you've killed the whole of mankind. Yeah. So this is the reply of Abu Hanifa. Yeah. Yeah. And then so it says murder, obviously, because in the Quran it says that if you kill one person, it's like you've killed the whole of mankind. And then the Imam would ask, so why in murder you need a couple of witnesses, and in adultery you need four witnesses, yeah? So he's saying, and then I went on to going about fasting and praying as well, also giving an example as well. So then the Imam said, don't give an opinion, yeah? So meaning when the Imam is around, yeah, you shouldn't be getting taqleed of someone else, yeah? So this is what he was referring to, and it's really important that we should know this. So whenever someone would come like the incident in Pakistan, yeah, which I think was a couple of years, and some people even believe this now because you know how khums is, yeah, khums, that you give a particular amount and you give it to your so if the Imam was here, you would give it to the Imam, but as the Imam is not here, you would give it to the who? The
Marja.
Yeah, the Marja, yeah. And people because they had to give this money, maybe that is one of their motives as well, yeah, for not then doing taqleed, yeah. But some people may even still believe this today, that we shouldn't be doing taqleed, yeah, and it's important to know this. So if any other event like that kind of happens, like the one in Pakistan, I think a few years ago happened, when they're giving out pamphlets saying that Imam Jafar Sadiq said that beware of taqleed, yeah. So what does it go to show? What does it go to show? Because they're giving a hadith just out of the blue. What does it go to show? If you don't know the context of the hadith, yeah, it could go very misleading, couldn't it? Yeah, because there's many. This is another important point, yeah, because many things, when someone shows it to you, yeah, and then you don't know the context of it, it seems very different, doesn't it? Yeah, because when I first gave you the hadith of Imam Jafar Sadiq, yeah, and because when I spoke to Hussein, yeah, and he has done taqleed of who? Ayatollah Sistani, yeah, and he's now been given that hadith from the beginning, but when Imam Jafar Sadiq said beware of taqleed, yeah, so it would have been worrying for him then, wouldn't it? Yeah, but now he knows the context of it, he wouldn't be worried, would he? Yeah, and this is important things that we should know the context of many famous hadiths, yeah. So we know we can have a response to stuff like this. So hope people at home has learned a lot about this, about marja and taqleeds, and why we should actually do taqleed as well. So it's important to know these things, shouldn't we? Yeah. And so now we're just gonna go through just a little bit of like the small points and main points of today's show. Yeah, so Misbah, what can you tell us the start point of the main show, so we know that we've actually got this message through, yeah? So just a shortcut, of the beginning. So what did we talk about in the beginning? What was it?
We talked about the.
We started off with the.
With
We was the people of
Knowledge.
knowledge. Yeah, we
Knowledge.
started off with that, didn't we? And what was the hadith that I gave of the Prophet?
That
That you
gain knowledge
even if you
even
have to go.
to China.
Yeah. So what did that mean?
Gain knowledge even if you have to go really
To
far.
any big land.
Yeah, if you you need to go to any like kind of big left, and you have to. So these marjas, what have they gone through? This jihad, hasn't they? What does jihad mean?
Yeah.
Struggle.
Yeah, struggle. They've gone through this jihad to get to this knowledge that they've earned, because they've gone through all these years, and now we do taqleed of them. Yeah. So that's the first point. So knowledge, yeah, and the gain of knowledge, yeah. And the second bit was difference between what?
Between marja
Ana a marja and a mujtahid. Yeah, mujtahid. So what is the difference between a marja and a mujtahid? Marj. So remember, every marja is a
Mujtahid. But not every mujtahid is a marja.
Yeah, is a marja. So that's all you need to remember about that. And then going on to the hadith of Imam Jafar as-Sadiq, where he says, beware of taqleed, and Hussein, what is the context of that?
That if there's Imam at that time, then obviously you can't be getting advice or like judgments from.
Yeah, what is that word? We can't be getting taqleed of those people when when it's a imam or a masoom is around. Yeah, we can't be getting taqleed of that. And we gave the example of when the imam was talking to Abu Hanifa, which is one of the imams of our brothers. Yeah. So these are some important things that we need to know. Yeah, and I hope people at home got the importance from this of what we were talking about today, and hope you have no more worries, because you would have been very worried when we talked about actually what Imam Jafar as-Sadiq has said. So I hope that worry had clear from you, and also now you've got another thing where if someone comes up to you, you've got an answer for. Yeah, so this is what our shows is about. So if anyone does come up to you, you know the answer, you can give a quick answer for that as well. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed the show. So we'll see you next week, same time, same place on Hidayat TV. But until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.